Hey, welcome back. Today we're going to review the Scotland-England game. Um, it was a Calcutta Cup, very historic rugby match, been going like over 130 years. I think it was like 100 matches that this was the anniversary of. It was the 100th match. So like a great history with this contest, and it didn't disappoint. It was an extremely entertaining game. Let me get into a review of the match. So the first 15 minutes was rugby tennis. They were kicking it back and forth, and yeah, both teams really didn't get any ball in hand or didn't really put any phases together. Finn Russell was also playing his usual game of chicken with the defence, waiting until the very last moment to make a play. I guess that's what makes him a good player, you know what I mean, when he's on form, and more makes him a bad player when he's out of form. So, yeah, he looked in pretty good nick. I have to say that Van Porfoy, the number 9 for England, again, he looked off the pace, sluggish, and I really don't like him as a number 9. I think he'd be better. He's obviously a good rugby player, but he'd be better in another position. I don't know. Something about him I don't like, and I don't think he served England well. He made a couple of basic mistakes again at the base of the ruck, and his kicking wasn't great. I don't think he served England very well. When England did manage to get any ball, yeah, he didn't make the best use of it. So after Scotland found touch from Finn Russell's excellent kick, they obviously called a move. Now the hooker who played really well, Turner I think his name is, for Scotland, he put an excellent long throw in, and he did it a few times in the game as well. Apparently that's not his strong suit, but he looked really good, and he looked good around the park as well. He was definitely an unsung hero for Scotland. But long throw goes over, move called, and again the midfield of England opened up, and Farrell is looking more and more like a weak link in this England side, and he comes in from his position in the inside centre, takes the same man as Marcus Smith, and yeah, and then Scotland are through. Nice little finish from the centre. The two centre combination, a grubber kick through from the inside centre, and then jumping on the ball over the line for Hugh Williams to get Scotland's first score of the match. And yeah, it's looking pretty good for Scotland. Yeah, they were under a little bit of pressure, but yeah, come away with the score. Then England come back into it. They build a lot of phases. I think it was 14 phases. That's pretty good. And yeah, they again, Marcus Smith had a really good game, I think, for England, and he was pulling the strings all through the game, and a little bit of magic from him, crossfield kick, and their winger, whose name is Malins, just falls on the ball. I don't think there was any question about the validity of the try, and yeah, England are back on terms. Farrell misses the kick, which is unfortunate for him because he didn't have much else going for him. But yeah, and it's pretty even, 7-5. And yeah, England are getting their phases, but again, I think Van Porfoy's his delivery from the ruck is so slow, and he ends up slowing down all of England's play, and they're missing those half chances that they could probably get. And it goes back to kind of the kicking game, kicking back and forth, and then you have the wonder try. But the wonder kid, what's his name? Dwayne van der Merwe. So I tend to say DVM, you know, because his name is quite long. And he just scores an absolute cracker. One that could grace any like international test match. Absolutely beautiful try. Good feet, incredible strength and speed. And yeah, really showed, and he's up in Edinburgh now. I mean, there's got to be people knocking on the door for him to go to France or wherever the big money is these days. France, I would guess. But yeah, he absolutely scored a blinding try, and it was basically from nothing, and yeah, put Scotland in the lead. Then it swings back the other way. Some nice play from Marcus Smith again. He's running the show completely. Farrell is anonymous, and it's like the England backline is playing like with one player, you know. And Farrell like does a few hospital passes off his shoulder, but really is Marcus Smith who's driving the England team forward, and looks like he has the energy to carry the team forward. Yeah, so big call for Borthwick in the next match, I think. And yeah, good hands, and again from Marcus Smith, and backed up by his backline, and then the same try scorer goes over again. Malins goes over for another try, and Farrell misses another conversion. Now, part of the reason why he's on the pitch, and I've stated this in videos before, like Farrell shouldn't be taking the kicks if he's not outside half. And I know it's not just the 10 who takes outside half, just not. It's not just the outside half who takes kicks. Anyone can take a kick, but he's stealing some of the thunder from Marcus Smith. Marcus Smith is obviously a passionate player, and for him to like pop one over from the sideline or something is going to improve his game. So I think England are really missing a trick there. And if Farrell who's notoriously been a reliable kicker, is not even making the kicks, then something's got to give. Yeah, so then the half basically comes to a close. The standout players for both teams, England, Dornbrandt, I thought that had a cracking game, taking some very brave lines, hitting the line and making yards. It didn't always come off for him, but he was very active and looking for the ball and being the offering himself for those lines. And when England did click, he was certainly in the middle of it. And for Scotland, I would say definitely Turner, the hooker. He put himself above the park, made some big plays, and also his throwing in at the lineout was impeccable, absolutely magnificent. And it's a very entertaining half. Good rugby all around. The rugby tennis was, not to everyone's liking, of course, but they were feeling each other out. So I'll give them a pass for that. But yeah, great half, very entertaining. And it's looking like it could be either team's game. So going into the second half, it was like, who knows what's going to happen. So at the start of the second half, England come on strong. They were good at the set piece, better than they had been in the first half. And Dornbrandt takes, again, a great line. He's having a good game and breaks up the Scotland defence, which has been resolute. And then Genge ends up dropping over the line for a try. Props try, always great to see. And that was after less than 10 minutes. So, yeah. Then it swings the other way. England, like this is the second time they've done it, they're sleeping from the restart. And they give the advantage back to Scotland. Scotland do a good move. They make some ground and they around the England 22. And then the cover just slips off the number 9. He sees an opening, as any good number 9 should. Van Porfoy, I hope you're listening. And yeah, he's over. He bamboozles the last defender, and then he's over for a try. And it's a little bit against the run of play, but Scotland taking their chances, no doubt about it. And then after that, Van Porfoy does a kick that really exemplifies his performance, and he just kicks the ball over the top. The commentator said it was a good decision. Yeah, maybe so, but the execution was absolutely terrible. And he kicks the ball dead. How many times do you see that these days in international professional rugby era? Not often. And he's just too casual with everything that he does. I mean, he's only had a few caps, 3 or 4 caps. But if he carries on in this vein, then he's not going to get many more, because I can see he's not playing well. And Ben Youngs comes on. Ben Youngs, the veteran, like 130 something caps. Then he really shows him up and shows how the game should be played. I mean, and Ben Youngs is not the greatest scrum half in the world. He's just a very compact, very composed, knows what his job is. And Van Porfoy, I think he's like lost in the wilderness at the moment. So definitely a player that England will be looking to change, I think, and give someone else a chance next time. Speaking of which, players who maybe have not pulling their weight, like Farrell. I like Farrell. He's had some good minutes for the Lions, but um, he was just anonymous in the first half and the second half. Like the first time you saw him was about 15, 20 minutes in the second half when he juggled a ball, which he should have caught easily. And and again, he's not offering anything for this England side. Uh, he does some good things, like not good, just decent, just average when he's standing in the 10 position. When he's in the centre, he's done. And I started to notice like Marcus Smith was actually mispassing him a lot. He's like, nah, he's not on the pace, like, you know what I mean? He can't keep up with the backline. And it's like, he's had a great career, but, you know, go back to his club, like work on his fitness, get healthy, you know what I mean, get back in form with the boot, and maybe he'll have another chance, you know, to get back into the England side. But at the moment, he's just not pulling his weight, and actually he's like a bit of a weight around the neck of the England backline. So Van Persie and Farrell, for me, have got to go for England. So yeah, more back and forth between the two teams. When Scotland do get the ball in hand, they're looking very dangerous, and England managed to deprive them of ball for the majority of the first part of the second half. But when they do get ball in hand, just again, they take their chances. And King Horn, he's my favourite player. I'm not sure why he's my favourite player in the Scotland side. I think it's more because he's got a cool name, but he's a big guy, silky skills, and again, he has an impact when he comes on. Whether he should be starting, I'm not sure. He's still young, so he's got plenty of opportunities in his future. But he's someone, when he does come on, he does make a difference. So he has an impact. A great hands from Scotland. And Van der Merwe, again, gets another try. Kind of, he shows his talent, if you like, again, but this time in a different way. The first one was like in open play, great feet, speed, everything. This is just pure raw strength. And he takes, it seems like 3 or 4 guys over the line with him. He had no right to finish that try, and he does it. Like, that's a benefit of him in the team. So he gets 2 tries again against England, and really deserved it. I mean, yeah, he's looking very, very strong, and it's great for Scotland going into the World Cup. And that was it. The game was over then. England, like, you know what I mean, tried to force their way back in the game, but it just didn't work out for them. And Scotland take a well-deserved victory, I think. They finished their chances much better than England. England probably had built more pressure. It was a very fluid game, not a lot of stoppages, not a lot of injuries, fortunately, and penalty count was pretty low, so it was a very enjoyable game to watch. Yeah, and Scotland retain the Calcutta Cup. That's the 3rd time on the bounce that they've beaten England. So Scotland are getting a little bit of a rep as the England Slayers. But this week I think both teams will have a big test again, and we'll see how it goes. But I think England, some positives. They need to make changes though. He needs to drop Farrell and put Marcus Smith in his 10 and get another centre, and another talented centre, young talented centre. And I think he needs a change at scrum half as well. You could bring Youngs in, but maybe Youngs with a younger scrum half. But we'll see. Borthwick needs to make the call, as far as I'm concerned, for England to progress. If he doesn't, they'll stay where they are. So congratulations to Scotland, well-deserved victory, and let's look forward to week 2. Peace.